All right, so Larry, you're back.
Yep.
I mean, to us, it's just been a few minutes, but to y'all, it's it makes sense. It's economy of scale. Whenever we're going to do a video, we usually record a few. So, um, you're. I think we have similar. Well, we're both bourbon
Yes.
fans, and every so often we like to have a cigar while we're sipping our bourbon. But I think there's some other characteristics about you and I with respect to whiskey that are similar. When you're on a road trip, you're trying to find little spots, right?
Little spots that have a little gem hiding away that hasn't been discovered yet.
Yeah. And so you get the opportunity to go out west a fair amount for both work and for leisure.
Yes.
And you said you found this one recently. So tell me a
me
little bit about this one.
Yeah, we found this in Red River Gorge, New Mexico. It was a holdover day, so we found a little distillery and let's check it out.
Yeah.
Got in there, met the owner, and he took us on a tour and showed us everything, how he's making it and how his production's gone up. And it's just a neat little place. So if you're ever in there, it's a great stop.
And where roughly is Red River?
In northeast New Mexico.
Northeast. Okay. All right. Well, so this is Red River Brewing Company and Distillery, because you said the guy started with brewing beer first, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the gateway to distillery.
Yeah, like a gateway brewery.
Yeah. And so it's produced and bottled. So it looks like they're doing everything there. It's Goose.
Yeah, he does it all there in-house.
Goose Creek handcrafted bourbon whiskey. This is batch 5, bottle 810. This is 80 proof. So I've never heard of it, and I'm looking forward to getting into
that day, and I enjoyed it. And hopefully you do too.
Well, what I find with so the 80 proofer, that's kind of like it's kind of like I would say entry level from a proof point. And sometimes what I find with 80 proofers is the nose and the taste are a little bit flat. But I'm telling you, on the nose on this one, it's not flat.
No, she's
it's almost like those little cinnamon red hots.
Mm-hmm.
I can get a little bit of that.
Yeah. By no means
no,
not that.
Not Fireball.
Not Fireball.
Not Fireball. But there is a little bit of cinnamon to it.
Mm-hmm. It's got a good smell.
It's just smooth, pleasant. I mean, it smells like it's going to be hotter than 80 proof to me.
And that's what I thought it was, and he told me it was 80, and I was like, what?
Because typically, I mean, and this is a preference thing too, but when I drink, I like to have, usually I'm north of 100. I usually like the single barrel cask strength stuff. But sometimes, it's good to step it down and drink something that's maybe a little bit lower.
And he said one of the things that was interesting was it's, I believe in the United States, it's at the highest elevation. Okay. So it's changing the cracking points of a lot of them.
It's really fascinating to me. I mean, you dig into, like, of course, the Kentucky purists, like, oh, Kentucky's the best place.
Yeah, it's the only place. If it's not Kentucky, it's nothing.
But it is interesting to see some of the things that are kind of like we did the video before, the Old Elk down. It's distilled in Indiana, but they're doing all the aging and everything in Colorado. This they're doing in New Mexico. I've had some of the Texas whiskeys. I don't know if you've had some of those. It's really interesting to see how that goes.
But I think we did try the one the boys are doing the infusion in California.
Yeah,
and that was good.
Yeah, so I guess bottom line, whiskey can be made everywhere in the United States.
Yes,
bourbon specifically in the United States. In the different climates and elevation and altitude and all those things, they're just going to have some different
unique flavors.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I found that they went out of business. There was one called Fat Pastor.
Okay.
And they were in Colorado, and they went out of business. But I loved. We shared that. I brought that one in. And we liked it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. I always appreciate you picking up something from the road and bringing it over to try sometime. So this is just, like I said, for me, the most dominant thing on the nose is a little bit of that cinnamon.
Yeah.
But I guess aside from that, it's like, okay, I could tell it's a bourbon, right? There's nothing like else that's really jumping out at me, but it's like, it's got a real pleasant
But you can smell the corn sweetness in it.
You can smell that. So I'm going to dive in on a sip here. Corn forward, for sure. See this, I mean, it's corn. I get a lot of corn. I don't know if it says anything about the mash bill.
He told me at the time, but I can't remember what exactly his mash bill was. But
It is. It's like sweet corn, like buttered sweet corn.
yeah,
With sprinkled cinnamon for me.
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it does remind me of the bread and butter corn.
Yeah. But what I like about this is it's a smooth drink.
Mm-hmm.
It is at a lower proof point. So this is one, if you're hanging out with friends for a few hours, this is one you can tolerate
Safely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. Now, see, I would sometimes, like when I get the higher proof stuff, I might add a few ice cubes or something in it, depending on the night. But this one I would not.
No, he does.
I'd keep this
She's
where it
fine
is.
the way she is.
Yeah.
So you got the right amount of warmth to her.
Yeah, it's real pleasant. Like I said, it's like sweet corn with some butter.
Yeah.
And it's got
But
like
it's a little more refined, and
a little bit, yeah.
It's not like old number 7.
I don't like that. All right. Well, I appreciate you bringing this by. Any other thoughts on this particular bourbon that we're drinking before we wrap things up today?
No, I recommend it if you're ever in New Mexico to stop in there in Red River Gorge.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Yeah, and I think that's Red River or wherever your travels take you. If you are a whiskey guy or gal or connoisseur, find those little hidden gems. I mean, there might be a little mom and pop craft distillery there, and from my own experience, I've not been to Red River, but those that I visited, they love these small craft distilleries. They love when people stop in. They love to share their story, and it's really fascinating. I think you get a much more in-depth, much more personal experience when you have that opportunity to visit these smaller places. So yeah.
And it's always so rewarding meeting these people and stories they tell.
Yeah,
how they ended up into that business. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, Larry, thank you for bringing this by. Thank you for doing this tasting video with us, and we'll do more again in the future.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.